Welcome to the House Arrest Show, hosted by 3-time Grammy nominee and 6-time Dove Award-winning artist and actor T-Bone. We also have the House Arrest Mix by DJ Pdogg in the mix.
You're tuned into House Arrest with T-Bone.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man DJ Pdogg in the mix once again with another House Arrest pre-show. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start this show off like this, man. We're going to take y'all back with some of those Christian hip-hop classics, starting out with my man, the one and only T-Boney Coleon, lyrical assassin himself. Let's go. Take it back.
Cause I'm the lyrical assassin. My lyrics go yeah. And all the demons get struck. I'm the lyrical assassin. My lyrics go yeah. And all the demons get struck. I'm the lyrical assassin. My lyrics go
yeah.
And all the demons
come
get
on,
struck.
come on.
Stepping up to the microphone area, it's the rough neck kid. Known to put demons in check. I beat them and jack them and poke them and shake them and hit them with the shovel. Cause when I see the demon, I'm steaming. So listen, little me, or should I say Chico? My name is T-Bone and I don't take none of that Rico Suave.
Welcome to the House Arrest Show. We're gonna vibe out. Come on.
I got 31, but I got 232. So what you wanna battle for anyway? I score points like Jordan, keep you locked up like a warden. Flow like the ocean, I'm smooth like lotion. Sweet like candy, tasty like a cherry pie. Like Johnny Gill, I got you singing my. I'm hard like a roca. Should I say a rocker? I could take you out and growl like Chewbacca. I'm not souped up and not in this for the loot, cause that's not me. In other words, that's phony. I got a vision like Pastor Sonny Arkansoni. So microphone checker, 1, 2, checker. On the microphone, yo, it's the lyrical asteca. Or should I say the one and only lyrical assassin? Cause homeboy, you get struck.
Come on, cause I'm the lyrical assassin.
My lyrics go and all the demons get struck.
Come on.
I'm the lyrical assassin. My lyrics go and all the demons get struck.
Taking y'all back to the godfather of Christian hip-hop, my man Stephen Wiley on the House Arrest Show. Come on. We're going back just a little bit, ladies and gentlemen.
Homeboys are rapping on the street. They got the Reeboks on the feet. They got the cars, the gangster lane speakers booming. The bass is me. Got their hands pulled to the side. Dark glasses on, a jacket's open wide. They've got the look to set the mood. They say they've got
Take me out back. Come on. Come on. Wait a minute. Who remembers Dynamic Twins? Dynamic Twins against the flow. Right here on the pre-show. Welcome to the House Arrest Show. Let's go.
That's it. Now I can't hack this. Put myself and back it. Going at the flow, cause the flow is whacking. Looking for a way up before I get paid up. My tongue is down the flow, then I got played up. It's even like corrupted, and I'm disgusted. If I can't trust it, it's time to bust it. Spin it and bring it to the core. You confusing them four, we get ripped by force. See the trick, Jack, forget that. Suck like a tic-tac, sort of like a big smack. And I ain't with that. Just when you thought it was smooth, everything was dancing your funk, but I ain't singing the blues. But that's what you get when you flow with the system. See, it won't suit you, no kind of feature. Thought it was steak, but all the time it was fine. It was poison for my body, poison for my mind. Living in the world where everybody does the same. What ends the flavor, D2's gotten wide to the game.
Let's
I'm
go.
taking a unit and I'm thinking of us with me. They want me to do what they all do, but I ain't doing gently. Refuse to conform or commit with the split. I won't become a product of this environment. It's getting wild and deep fried, so here I go. Staying strong, going on against the flow.
Hey, here we go now. Wait a minute. Coming from the ladies.
What? You see, I caught the mic.
MC Gigi.
Zell dropped it and stopped after hearing Dan. Cause he told them all to drop the MIC. Then I heard the voice say, pick it up, G. See, I remember that time not long ago when he passed me the mic and told me to flow. So I started that day. Now people say,
then she sounded more like him every day.
Delirious, straight the Point Street poet. I always knew you had it, now they all know it. So now it's my responsibility to take on a mission you left with me. We always said we'd do it together. rhymes more hardcore the way you like to rap it. This came along and thought he snatched it. Took the kids, you silly rabbit. I caught the mic. Say what?
MC Gigi, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the House Arrest Show, sister of the legendary D-Boy Rodriguez. Listen, welcome to the House Arrest Show. If you guys like those classics, man, make sure you guys check out the Spotify playlist curated by yours truly. It's called the Christian Hip Hop Classics. It's on Spotify. It's for free. You see the information right there on the screen. Listen, just go follow the playlist. I'm updating it daily, and I'm looking for you guys to help me out and let me know what I should be adding to the playlist, all right? Well, listen, man, I'm about to bring on my man, the one and only T-Boney Coleon. We got a packed show for you guys today. And when I say packed, bro, I mean it is a packed show. Put your seatbelt on. Get ready to enjoy the ride. Ladies and gentlemen, the host with the most, my man, T-Boney Coleon. T-Bone, what's up, bro? What's up?
Round of applause for my man, DJ Pdogg, killing it on and twos as always, y'all. What's going on? Welcome to the House Arrest Show. I am your host, T-Bone. That is DJ Pdogg. And, man, this has been like a crazy, crazy year. This is the final episode for 2020. And, man, I want to tell you something. It's been a lot of fun, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. My man P-Dog's going to be in with me. We're going to be talking about all the craziness that happened this year and talking about some new things as well and what's to come as well. So, guys, please stay tuned with us. And I got to pay some bills as I always do. So as you guys know, that today's show is brought to you in part by Reign Total Body Fuel. Reign is 100% designed for your active lifestyle, offering 0 sugar, 0 calories, and 0 artificial flavors and colors. Reign is the ultimate fitness-focused beverage to support your high-performance needs, blended with BCAAs, natural caffeine, CoQ10, and electrolytes. For more information, you guys can check out their website at www.rainbodyfuel.com. Also, if you're in Chino Hills or anywhere in Southern California and you're looking to have that beautiful smile, well, look no further. Sunny Family Dental can assist you with all of your dental needs, including veneers, implants, crowns, cleanings, etc. Dr. Uday Shah is one of the best in the business, and he'll make sure he takes his time getting you exactly what you need. For more information, you can log on to their website at sunnyfamilydental.com. And please be sure to tell them your boy T-Bone sent you. And last but not least, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, I know right now a lot of people, you know what, interest rates are low. It's a great time to buy. Well, hey, man, don't look any further. The only place you need to go to is to United Realty NM, because they can take care of all your real estate needs. It's a one-stop shop. They can help you nationwide with their network of realtors. For more information, you can log on to their website at unitedrealtynm.com. That NM is for New Mexico, as always. Again, unitedrealtynm.com, or you can follow them on Instagram or Facebook at United Realty NM. Hey, guys, we want to welcome everybody that's tuning in, man, that have been tuning in all year from all over the world, literally all over the world. Those of you that are listening to the audio version of the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc., as well as those of you that are watching via Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and all those other places, man. We want to thank you guys for watching. It's been an honor to be able to just share these amazing stories with you guys and do these interviews. I want to remind you guys, as always, that DJ Pdogg, that's right, my man DJ Pdogg is going to be right here, right after this show, spinning on the 1 and 2s, and he's going to take us out for the year. And I know it's going to be an amazing thing. Now, if you guys want to find out where you can follow us, whether it's Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, all you have to do is go to one place, and that's www.thehousearrestshow.com. Once you click on there, there's a whole drop down of every platform, literally, that you could go to, and you can just click on there and follow us at the click of a button. Again, that's www.thehousearrestshow.com. Now, P-Dogg, as you know, man, we are 100% listener supported, and it is the end of the year, which means people are looking to get a tax break, tax write-off, whatever. Hey, man, if you guys want to help us out, and if you guys want to say, man, we want to contribute to the work that you guys are doing and to help keep furthering and spread the gospel through stories the way that we do, you guys can reach us at info@thehousearrestshow.com. One more time, that's info@thehousearrestshow.com. Well, guys, you know what, man? We done paying bills, and right now I got to bring on my dude, a guy that's been with me from basically the fourth time I ever did this show. We ended up meeting at the beginning of this year, and 2020 has been a beautiful year in that sense, man, because God has brought this amazing relationship to place. He's a DJ that's DJ'd for everyone from Lecrae to KJ52 and so many others. And you know what, man? He's been a blessing on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put together for my man with the hands of steel on the 1 and 2s. Give it up for the one, the only, the genius, the master of disaster, my man, DJ Pdogg. Oh, look at him. Look at he's going. Oh, give me the elbow. Give me that elbow action. Can I get some chin action? Can you get that chin on there?
I'm in the stool, bro. What you know about it? I'm not even standing up.
You're like Michael Jackson when he did the Soul Train Awards sitting down, bro. That's crazy, man. How you been, Pdogg?
Man, I'm good. Hey, listen, I want to start the show off hot a little bit here. I got to give a big shout out, okay, to another contributor of the show, my man Jared Roach. He's getting married this weekend, bro. Salute to that brother. He's been killing it. All the graphics that you guys see, that's my man Jay Roach. So shout out to him.
That's right. Man, we got to give a big shout out. Jay Roach, what's going on, my man Jared? I hope you will. Thank you so much. As you guys know, we can't do this show on our own. There's so many people that contribute, and Jared is definitely the guy that puts together all those flyers, puts together the little clips that we do. We also got to give a shout out to my man Rodney Davis as well in Hobbs, New Mexico. Rodney's one of the guys that helps us, with so many different just day-to-day things, as well as he's a guy that puts some money into the show and helps us get boosts on Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. So shout out to my man Rodney, and definitely congratulations to my man Jared, who is going to be entering into this new life of marriage. Man, Pdogg, what advice would you have for Jared or for anybody else that's out there looking to tie the knot right now?
So it's funny that you say that, bro, because a lot of people don't know this about me, man. But I'm actually an ordained elder at my church, and so I'm actually doing premarital counseling with a couple right now. So I always tell people, it's a universal rule for me. Because, the Bible says, number one, we have to love God with all of our heart, and then to love our neighbor as ourselves. And when you're in a relationship, marriage relationship, your closest neighbor is your spouse. But it's impossible to love your spouse if you don't first love God with all your heart. So you can't have one without the other. So that's what I always say, man. That's a great rule of thumb. Press into your relationship with God for yourself. Press into your relationship with Jesus, love him with all your heart, and loving your spouse, your neighbor. It won't be so hard. You're going to have good times, you're going to have bad times, but the reality of it is if that foundation is solid and it's tight, when those shaky times come and you're rooted in solid ground, I promise you'll make it through.
Wow, great advice, man. I think the thing is this right here, the pyramid, It's like as you grow toward God, you guys will be growing together, but it needs to be that pyramid, right?
There it is.
The best advice I give people is I tell them I think communication is the biggest thing, because a lot of times, men are visual, women are more emotional. We think different. Men are from Mars, women from Venus, that whole thing. And I think that for men, we could, I might tell you something that rubs you the wrong way, but it's like, all right, you kind of like take it in, but then you forget about it. Next time I see you, you ain't even thinking about that. For a woman, when you tell them something like, oh man, your hair doesn't look that good like this, you ought to switch it up. Maybe that offends her, and she holds that in and she don't say nothing. And so the next day you're like, you going out with your honey and you're like, hey baby, what are we doing today? Well, I don't know. I'm cool. I just want to stay home. And you're like, man, where's that attitude coming from? You're like, I don't get it, And women, they hold on to things and they don't realize if they don't communicate that, the guy's not really going to know that she's upset if that's not communicated, because we don't think the way they do. So I think that communication is very important. You got to be vocal. And then as well, like you're saying, man, the Bible says to love your wives the way that Christ loved the church. How much did he love the church? He died for it. So I think that, we have to be as husbands willing to lay down our lives, and they should be definitely somebody that comes first in our lives, obviously after God, but somebody that we seek to protect and to take care of and all that good stuff. So, but I think overall that definitely, communication is definitely probably the biggest thing that a lot of marriages lack. So, with that said, Jared, man, you know what, man? We hope that you're doing well. We hope that you get a lot of blessings, a lot of great monetary gifts would be nice this year. And, man, I always tell people, his plans are all done. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I always try to tell people, don't spend so much money on the wedding. Because, like, if you're throwing so many thousands of dollars, it's like you're starting your life off in debt when you could be like, let me throw something smaller, but put some of that money in the bank so that our life could be easier starting as opposed to starting off with nothing. What do you think?
That's what we did, bro. and it definitely paid off. Because the thing is, and then the other part, you just never know what life is going to bring year to year. I mean, 2020, for all of us, right? All of us had plans. And, we say 2020 is, 2020 vision, clear vision. I think we got clear vision. I just think for a lot of us, we hate what we see.
Real talk, bro. That's real.
So you just never know. Like, I mean, listen, I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling dad. That was not in my plans for this year at all. But to be here and to have embraced that, again, like you said, bro, that communication piece is major because, people don't believe it when I tell them, like, I'm a stay-at-home dad. They're like, oh, man, your wife didn't. Like, nah, man, she's still got a job. She's holding it down. I got to do my this is what it is right now, and it's a great partnership. It's not so much one superior over the other. We got each other's back. It's a great partnership that we have, and it's a beautiful thing. And here's the other thing, bro. Man, when marriage is done right, bro, like when you do it right, bro, like God honors that. And even if you don't start off right, okay, and you get things together, like God honors that, bro. Like it's something about doing it right that just it's just a beautiful thing. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing. So yeah, man, shout out to Jared. And listen, Jared, you already know, bro. You got a big bro here. You got my man T-Bone. You need some advice? Well, listen, we've been in it for a little bit. I mean, I haven't been in it as long as T-Bone, but I've been in it long enough.
Yeah, you've been in it long enough to know, man. And you know what? And the other thing is, I mean, keeping it 1,000, man, like it's not always easy. So you got to realize there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. But some people have this fairy tale thing. It's not always easy. But at the end of the day, man, you got to make it work. And I think that's why it's so important that you know who you're dating before you get married. They should be your best friend before you get married, because then, you know what I'm saying? If that person is your best friend and you have something that is beyond just the physical, there's substance there and it's going to last. So that's why people, when you hear them say, man, you should marry your best friend, that's the reason why. Because when you have a friendship, it's more than just beyond when I'm drawn to you or when I'm attracted to you. There's more depth in that. There's more things that we have in common. There's a lot that we've talked about and a lot of things that we, share. So I think that, marrying your best friend is definitely an important thing.
Absolutely, man. And, that's part of my testimony, bro. Like for me and my wife, we dated for 4 years, bro.
Wow.
We dated for 4
Same
years. We were only engaged for a very short period of time. We got engaged in January and got married that May. We were both.
After 4 years, you don't need a long engagement.
You don't. You really don't. So we stayed pure the entire time. When we got married, bro, we were both virgins on our wedding night. And I can only say, God kept us through that time. I don't advise people to date that long. There were circumstances around our situation that wasn't on purpose. Let me say that. It wasn't on purpose.
Right.
I took a long time trying to get out of college, and I told my wife, I said, I don't want to get married until I graduate. And my entire time I was at school, bro, I was doing this right here, and I'm trying to be Diddy on campus, and then I'm not hitting it in the classroom like I'm supposed to. But
now, you went to Liberty University.
I did. Liberty University, bro. LU, bro. LU.
There you go. Shout out. Toby Mac went. A whole lot of other people went over there as well. Man, this turned into a marriage advice show, but it's all good. We're talking about a little bit of everything, man. This year has been a crazy year, man, because we've had to deal with so many different things.
Yeah.
Tell me, for you, man, what was probably one of the toughest things for you in 2020? And at the same time, what was one of the great things that you took from that? I'll actually start before you go. For me, I'll make it real short. It was kind of like, one of the toughest things was like everybody having to be on lockdown, having to be on house arrest. Was like, man, how are we going to get through this? I can't go out to eat. I can't go to the gym. I can't do this. I can't go out. I can't go to the theater because I'm about that life. You know what I'm saying? I'm about going out. But it ended up being a huge blessing because then it was like you get to be home and you get to change and switch gears. And it's like we were saying, speaking of marriage, me and my wife have probably never spent more time together through the almost 25 years that we've been together.
Wow.
This has literally been the most time that we've ever spent. So it's been a beautiful thing. It's been a blessing. And I think it's taught me to slow down a little bit. And I've enjoyed it. What about for you? What are some of the tough things that you went through? And I think the other thing for me, obviously, was losing Kobe at the top of the year, one of my heroes, favorite basketball player of all time. I love that dude on so many levels. And that was the other tough pill to swallow. I mean, still to this day, it hits me. But for you, tell me a little bit about what 2020's been like for you.
Yeah, man, I think the toughest, if I could say the toughest so far, because we ain't out of it yet. The toughest so far was probably losing my former role manager, Greg. Like, that was just unexpected out of nowhere. We talked about it on the show before, but he passed away to a drowning accident this past summer. So that was probably the craziest. I think the best thing that has happened, it's the same, bro. This opportunity to just slow down and to be at home. I've always been intentional with my wife and my kids, but now it's on a different kind of level because I'm with my kids constantly every day. And to be able to pour into them spiritually and be their teacher and mentor, like I can't, like my twins, we got twins, boy-girl twins. They just turned 10 last week. And me and my wife were talking, was like, man, we got a good 8 years left with them before we send them out into the world. And so I think that this moment for me, specifically me, to be at home with my sons, with my daughter, to teach them, to guide them, to have conversations spiritually and other kinds of conversations, man, like money can't buy this. And money, the money that I lost, I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I lost a lot of money this year not being on the road, a lot, but I don't even think about that compared to being home with my kids and then also just continuing to have that intentional time with my wife. Like, it's a beautiful thing.
Right.
I've done 2 shows, bro, 2 live shows outside of this. But since COVID hit, I did, both of them were here in the city, and I didn't even travel anywhere. I did one 2 weeks ago, man. And I said, man, I don't know, bro. Like, I might be, I don't know, bro.
Joining me on the No, but what's interesting is that the fact that you're saying, it's like, it's kind of like how do you define success? Because money is the way most people define. I don't define success by money.
Yeah.
And I think what you're saying is kind of like, what's more important? How am I more successful? Am I more successful going out making 150 grand in a year by touring, or whatever it is you're making, 250, whatever? Or am I more successful by spending a whole year with my kids and just planning into their lives, sowing into their lives? Because this year might be the year that I have the most time to invest into them that might be impactful for the rest of their lives. So it's like, how do you define success? You feel me?
So it's that, and I know, before we got on, I told you I want to plug in my tour blog, but the reason that I was doing those tour blogs specifically last year, 2019, I did some insane stuff, bro. Like, there was one show, I reposted it on my stories a few weeks ago, and all those episodes are on my Instagram at DJ Pdogg. But I posted one episode where I was in Charlotte, North Carolina. I had an early morning gig. I had drove out there the night before, and then I had to drive from there back to Raleigh, which is about a 2.5-hour drive. Not that bad, right? But I'm dead tired because the early morning gig was an early morning gig. Like, I had to be out there like 6 a.m. and then DJ for like 4 hours, get in the car, pack up all the gear, and then drive 2.5 hours to get to another show. And I remember doing this episode, and I started the tape, and I said, guys, like, I'm out here doing some crazy stuff. Like, I feel like I just woke up. Like, I'm dozing off at the wheel. Like, this is not cool. And so just doing, like, me and my wife talk about it all the time now. Like, I was literally, bro, like, I'm not saying this figuratively, but I was literally killing myself. Going from show to show. The tour life is cool, but man, like, over time, and then you're crunching in, I got one episode, bro, like, no lie, bro, I did 4 shows in one day. I started at 6 in the morning and finished at 3 o'clock the next morning. And I document all that stuff so that people can see, like, man, yes, we enjoy what we do as artists, but the grind of it is not as glamorous as people think it is all the time.
Real talk. Real talk.
Yeah, and so right now, bro, this is the longest that I've been off the road in 17 years, and I feel healthier. I feel like I have more clarity. I'm not as tired. I've got more energy. I've got more time to invest in my kids. I'm enjoying not having to feel like I got to go do 3 and 4 shows a day to make ends meet. The Lord has really been taking care of us financially, which is insane to me because we're doing better now than we were when I was on the road.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is because you don't count, like, all those expenses add up, being on the road, So
Definitely.
So this has been a very interesting year. So being able to do this at home and even to do this show has been cool because it still allows me to be creative and to take care of that itch. I am having the itch to get back in front of a live crowd, but I'm not rushing it either.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. One of the highlights, obviously, is being able to start the House Arrest show. Us doing this thing together, it gives us, a time to be creative. It allows us to still be connected into the music industry, connected with artists on a different level. But yeah, man, 2020 has been crazy. We got to start the show, but also 2020 has been, I started a podcast, but at the same time, I retired from the music industry. So all that happened in 2020. 2020, we lost one of gospel hip hop's greatest artists, Chill from the Gospel Gangsters. You know what I'm saying?
We lost Solo.
Yeah,
Solo.
I'm sorry. Who did you say?
You said Chill. We didn't lose Chill, bro.
Yeah,
Chill's still with us.
That's right. My bad. In 2020, we lost one of the dopest rappers, which was Solo from the Gospel Gangsters. In 2020, we seen race riots that happened. In 2020, we seen this crazy election that we're still going through, and just how the country's divided between red and blue. In 2020, we seen, at the top of the year, Kobe Bryant died. In 2020, we had a virus that hit our land. This COVID-19, in 2020, we lost how many heroes, how many friends? I mean, it's been a crazy year. So what I want to do is I kind of want to go through a recap a lot of this stuff because we talked about all these different things with a lot of different people that were on. And I know one of the things that me and you really wanted to talk about, I mean, we did a special 3-hour tribute show for my man Solo from the Gospel Gangsters, man, who was dear to my heart, one of the pioneers of the gospel hip hop, game, one of the best to ever do it. And we were blessed to be able to have my man Chill on. And when we brought Chill, man, I mean, me and him were both shedding tears. We both cried on the show. There's been a lot of tears on this show, man, but we want to take you guys through and let you guys show you a little clip of what happened earlier this year. This is Chill actually talking about how Solo, the guy who was in his group, for those of you that don't know, actually brought him to the Lord and how he came to know the Lord. These are some guys from South Central, straight up ex-gangbangers, ex-thugs, all that stuff. So let's check it out, man. Here it is, Pdogg. This is Chill talking about my man Solo.
I'll tell you, T, you know how gangsters in California do it. We don't really take no for an answer. If we gonna do you, we gonna do you. So it was like, they looked at me and it was like, bro, we don't know what nothing that. And I was like, you know what, cuz? I said it just like this. I looked to the side and I said, you know what, cuz? On Crip. I ain't gonna even trip. And in my whole heart, that wasn't me. I never even thought I would never even say nothing like that. But Solo the whole time, he's standing by me, y'all praying. He's standing by me praying in the spirit, man, I hope. So when they said that, I said, all right, don't you trip, Lo. We walked away. We got to the top of the block. We hopped in the car, Solo, check this out, man. It's Wednesday, we got service, my nigga. He said it just like this, it's Wednesday, my nigga. We got service. What we doing? What you doing tonight, my nigga? I know what you doing. You ain't nothing on the block with a sack, fool. Come get with me. He's like, man, come on, man. Just listen. Come on, bro. If it ain't no good thing for you, bro, come back to the block, bro. I came from the block. Go back to the block. That's where we from. Bro, let me tell you. I went to service, and it was like, when I went, it was like, you know how the pastor be like, he was just talking to me, man. He was talking to me. I had to go. Nobody had to push me. Nobody had to tell me, hey, Chili, you want to get saved. Nobody had to say, brother, is he talking to you? No. I knew at that point that God had met me where I was at. And I knew at that point that I had ran into something that was greater than me and that I couldn't turn it down. You know how the mom said, I'm gonna make you an offer that you can't refuse. I'm seriously. It was like the Father was telling me, I'm gonna make you an offer right now that you can't refuse. Like, and the devil, and you ever seen a cartoon where you got the devil on one shoulder and then you got the thing, and they telling you like the devil telling me nah, and then the angel over here telling me nah, man, it's a good thing. He telling me nah, go back to the street, nah. And that's literally how I was while I'm sitting up there in my chair listening. At the same time, I knew the Father was like, I'm making you an offer you can't refuse. I walked up there, bro. Nobody didn't tell me nothing. I got born again, bro, and I ain't been back since. I mean, we all have ups and downs as human beings, but bro, I ain't been back since, bro. I'm solid. You feel me? And I ain't been back since. And that go to show you, bro, the legacy that my homie left in this world. Not even with just people all over the world. I mean, with me, bro. The legacy with me, bro. He came and got me, bro. I'm his seed, bro, for real.
Man, now that was crazy, man. Like, what an amazing story, right? Who would have known? Even I didn't know, bro, that Chill got led to the Lord through Solo, who he's in a group with. I thought they kind of like were already Christians or whatever. They ended up meeting. That wasn't that crazy?
So it's one of those things, bro. Like when God puts you in certain spaces around people who may not know Jesus, right? Like, don't stop rocking with like Solo went out there with this dude when he was about to go crazy on the dude. That's crazy to me,
right,
bro. And in that moment, I think God was all throughout that situation. Like, God stopped this brother from doing something crazy that he probably would have regretted for the rest of his life. And in that same moment, he went a whole nother direction. And that's just that. I mean, you can't make stories up like that, bro.
You can't, man. And you know what? That show was a tough show to do. If you guys get a chance, Pdogg, tell them where they can go watch the whole version of the show because, man, at the top of the show, if you remember, just when I introduced him, I started crying, bro. It broke me. You started playing those solo verses, and it just took me back, and I was like, I can't believe this dude is gone. This was my friend. This was a comrade. This was, a peer in the game, and I just broke down and started crying, and then Chill broke down, and we all broke down. But, man, I think people should watch the interview. It was very impactful, was very heartfelt. But tell them where they could check out the full interview for those that want to see that full interview.
So all of the interviews that we have, including that one, is all on our YouTube channel, House Arrest Show on YouTube. You can go there, subscribe. We'll have the link somewhere floating up here. Or you can just go to thehousearrestshow.com, and all of our links are there. But we had some issues with it on YouTube at first, but we're getting some of those things taken care of. So it'll be up there, the full interview.
Yeah, we had some issues where they were cutting us out because they wanted rights for the music and all this different stuff. It was kind of crazy. It's been a crazy year with all that as well. But also they can check us out on Instagram. If you guys go to House Arrest Show on Instagram, you guys can see all the shows there as well. Now, keeping it on gospel hip hop, CHH. Another crazy moment that we had that caused a lot of controversy. There was different people that posted it as well. We had my man Dayton, from Florida, gospel hip hop artist who's on the rise, doing big things. And man, it was crazy because we were talking a lot about how, like, what do you think about gospel hip hop? What do you feel? It's changed obviously from the years when we started it back in the early 80s and 90s. And it's definitely evolved into something that some people love it. Some people are like, man, I feel like we're getting away from what it's supposed to be, which is about the word, about the gospel. It's gospel hip hop. So we asked, Dayton, what did he think about it? And it was interesting, man, because I'll just let you guys watch it, man. So check it out. This is Dayton talking about the state of gospel hip hop right now. Here it is. Is it just becoming another cool industry thing where it's cool to be this rapper and just gives you another platform? Or do you feel like it is going in the right direction and we are taking people leading them towards the cross?
Yo, I honestly, many may disagree, but I'm starting to question if God's hand is still on this thing.
Wow.
I feel like his hand may be coming off of it. It's not about a feeling, but I just remember listening to this genre and being ministered to. And you feel that oil, like there's oil on this song. There's like this person who wrote this song just came from spending time with the Lord. And right now I feel like it's rare, bro. It's really rare. There's been a bunch of times, like I put out CHH Ain't Dead to make a statement, and kind of, it's like, I definitely don't believe in speaking things into existence, but it's just like, yo, let me be optimistic and let me get my little bros on these records and like, yo, let's make this statement that, yo, there are still people out here that rep the cross.
Right.
But the more I listen and the more I see the influence of some of the big dogs in this joint, I'm just like, yo, this isn't going nowhere. Like, the music is getting better sonically, but I question if God's hand is still on this, man. I do a lot. I know there's a few I can name on one hand and probably can't use every finger. But like, you know, you got the Brian Trejos, you got the KBs, you know what I'm saying? You got whatever GOM is doing. We're trying to rep the cross and honor God and give you music that is birthed from spending time with the Lord. You know, there's a couple others, but man, I'll be feeling like these dudes be talking about a bunch of nothing.
Wow, bro. That was crazy, right?
He caught some heat, bro.
He sure did. I mean, that was crazy. He said, I don't know. He's like, I'm not sure. Maybe God has literally removed his hand from CHH. I mean, that was a statement that had a lot of people like, whoa.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? What do you think?
So I'm glad you're asking me that, bro, because I do have an opinion on that.
Okay.
I think when I look at, I can come from a personal standpoint, because I had to step away, and I think I talked about that in the previous show, or we talked about it, you know, off the mic or whatever, but I had to step away from Christian hip-hop for at least a year, man, because I think I was so ingrained in it and wanted to see it go forward, but then I started to see it was becoming a little bit of a toxic environment. From a fan's perspective and artist perspective.
Mm-hmm. You like gave the perfect setup, because somebody who talked about both of those things, what you're talking about, is the Truth, who we had on just literally maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the Truth broke down him being a part of the whole cross movement thing. And we talked about grace because he went through his fall and all that. But he's a guy that, like he says, since he was a little kid, remember, he was talking about how he was basically born in a home that it was all Christians. They taught Bible. He got a passion to want to study the Bible from a young age, and studied and studied and studied. And he was talking about how he would literally even lock himself up in his room and study for days. And so the thing was, like he was saying, he got to a place in hip hop where it was like you were saying, it was becoming a place where it was like, if you didn't, you know, have this level of knowledge of the word, and if you weren't at this level, then they looked down on you. But then he had this fall, and God taught him about grace. So maybe we can play a clip of that. But I also want to touch on his response to, you know, asking him about Dayton's comment about how God has maybe removed his hand from gospel hip hop, because I think that he's such an eloquent dude when he speaks. He's got so much knowledge, and I think he gave the best answer to that. So, you know, let's get into a little bit of the Truth, and let's see what the Truth had to say about what Dayton had said about God possibly removing his hand off of gospel hip hop. Here it is right here, exclusive. Man, what do you feel about the state of Christian hip hop? Because Dayton said, you know, he feels like maybe God may be removing his hand from it. He feels like his hand's not on it the way it was. And I'm curious to know what you think about, you know, where it's at right now, the state of it.
Yeah, interesting to hear Dayton say that, because I see God as preserving it with God over money.
Wow.
That's the interesting thing. Yeah, I actually see God using the very people who think that God has taken his hand off of it in order to preserve it for as long as it will stay.
Yeah,
I believe that there's a remnant of people that God is KB, you know, the God over money guys, you know, Social Club,
Brian Trejo.
Brian Trejo, yeah, like God has graced them to kind of be the salt and preserve this thing that we've called Christian hip hop. In terms of the state of it, I think it's an interesting space. I think what happened was we went through an identity crisis, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I talk a lot about is, I don't talk about it as much anymore, but I used to talk a lot about how it's really common for the people of God to take the thing that God starts and kind of look for ways to finish it out, right? That's just a common thing that whether you're a preacher or what Paul the Apostle said, do not seek to perfect in the flesh the work that God began in the spirit, right? And now the context there is obviously people who are looking to merit some sort of salvation or favor with God by virtue of baptism or just kind of external traditions, etc. But I think in principle that concept applies across the board, that something in us looks to basically, when God begins a work, we take what we think he did and then we try to build a formula around it to kind of finish it out. And what ends up happening is once we take the wheel, we end up crashing. I think that's what we've seen, right?
Yeah.
So for me, man, I've watched Christian hip hop do this. I've watched Christian hip hop, start God's way and then say, I got it from here.
Hey, man, that was wow, super deep, bro. That was crazy. I mean, the truth, man. He pretty much broke it down. Wouldn't you say?
He's a great speaker, man. Like, I mean, if anybody has a chance to hear him speak, like he's a good orator. I don't know if that's the correct word to use.
I don't even know what that word means. So
he can speak eloquently. He can speak,
there you go,
very nicely. I don't know that.
Yeah. There you go. He's a well-spoken.
You know what I'm talking
eloquent.
about, bro.
Yeah, I feel you. I smell you. But yeah, man, he broke that down really good, because I think that's wow. I mean, the way he broke that down, I don't even want to add to that. You guys seen it yourself, and I think that's a great response. And I think that he's that OG now, and that's why he says he speaks into a lot of these cats' lives. We know that Dayton grew up listening to the truth as well as myself, but the truth was one of his favorite guys ever. Now, 2020 has also been a crazy year. We had some really big names on the show as well. People like Mac Powell from Third Day, man. And man, with him, it was crazy because we talked to him kind of when all this race stuff was going on. And Mac is a guy that, something so beautiful about this guy. Has a great heart. He adopted these 2 black kids from Atlanta. He took them under his wing and they've been with him. And it's so beautiful. If you guys, get a chance, follow him, Mac Powell, on Instagram. You'll see him with his beautiful daughter, his beautiful son. He's got, I believe it's 5 kids. 3 of his own and then 2 adopted. And the crazy thing was, man, as you know, probably better than anyone, me going through it as well, being a Latino from the hood, but you being a black man, like, I don't know, did your father have that talk with you when it came to, and again, talk about everything that was going on with the police brutality and the police killings and racial profiling and all the stuff that was going on. Did you ever have to have that talk from your dad, telling you what to do or how to act when you get pulled over by an officer?
So it wasn't just that. It was just in general, like, hey, man, when you walk out the house, they already categorizing you. I was a knucklehead teenager, bro. Like, I used to wear, backwards hats, do-rags, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
You say, hey, man, listen, you can't wear that outside the house, bro. Like you. And then he always teach me, like, don't give them a reason. Don't even give them a reason. You go into the store, get what you need to get, purchase it, make sure you get a receipt, put your merch in a bag, and walk out the store. Like all those details, I still remember to this day, and it's like, man, this is nuts. Like, even as an adult, when I go into the store, like, hey, you want a bag? Yep, I want a bag. Let me get the receipt. Tie that mug up, because I don't want nobody to even think nothing, bruh. Yeah, and it's crazy, bro. Like, some of the things that like, I don't want to have a tail light out. I don't want that smoke.
Extra unnecessary drama, right?
Yeah, you just don't. I mean, listen, I've been pulled over before. And I haven't had any negative confrontations with the police. It's been very respectful. And I support the police here in my local city. Me and my wife are involved in a group where we have sit-down conversations once a month with the police in the community, and we talk about things that's going on in our community. So we're not by any means of the imagination anti-police.
No.
But as there are good police out there, there are some bad police that are out there. And so, but I don't want to paint everybody with the broad stroke, just like I don't want them to paint me with a broad stroke.
I'm glad you said that, bro, because that's the thing. We actually had a couple police officers that were fans of mine that stopped following the show. I believe it was when we had, and stopped following me in general when we had, first they were like, hey man, we appreciate what you're doing, we love the show and what we were talking about. But when we started getting into that, they were like, hey man, there's good cops. So I was like, hey man, we believe there's great cops. It's like black people, it's good black people, bad black people, good Latinos, bad Latinos. There's good humans and bad humans, period. And so, I was like, hey man, we're here to support, we're not here to that. But they took, when Stephen Wiley, I think it was, that came on, they just took offense to some of the stuff. They stopped following. I was like, hey man, you can't please everyone, but definitely we definitely support the police. We know that there's good police officers, but again, there's a few rotten apples, and those are the ones that we got to take out. But the thing is, my thing was, when talking to Mac Powell, was like, man, here's a white man from Nashville, Tennessee, or from Atlanta, who's lived in Tennessee for a long time. And I was like, what is it like having 2 black kids and then having 3 white kids? Is there a difference between them? Do you give those kids a talk? Have you ever had to give these kids a talk? And he broke it down really well, man, which was pretty amazing. He was like, I've never had to have that talk with my 3 white kids, but having 2 black kids, he himself as a white man was able to be like, there is a difference. So let's check it out, man. I don't want to speak for him. This is Mac Powell on the House Arrest Show talking about, having that talk with his 2 young black adopted children. As a white man with a black son, do you have that same talk that most black dads have with their black kids, in fear of them being shot, in fear of them, going out and being pulled over and stuff happening? Do you have that same talk with your kid? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's you try to do it as well as you can. Of course, I never had that talk. No one ever had to, have that talk with me. And yet I've heard, we've done a bunch of research, things we've read, things that we've seen about what to say. And it's, that's the thing. I'm fortunate that my 11-year-old is still a little bit, he's really such a sweet, kind heart, still real innocent, and just doesn't get it. He doesn't fully understand when he sees stuff, like George Floyd on TV, and it seems like every week a new one's coming around. He's like, I don't, he literally says, I don't get it. This doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. And we said, buddy, it doesn't make sense to us either, but unfortunately it's where it's at, and it's where things are. And hopefully, I think, one of the good things about COVID is that it got everybody kind of, in their homes and kind of like just almost agitated to a sense where there were things that were blew up in a good way. Things that had to come out, things that had to be said that weren't said, some stands that needed to be made that people normally wouldn't have if life had just been normal. And so I think that's a positive thing that's come from COVID, of many things and of horrible things as well. But yes, that we've had that conversation with him, with both our daughter as well, and just going, it's not fair. It's not fair that you have to worry when you, in just a few short years, in 5 years, you're going to be driving. And then if a cop pulls you over, you have to just go ahead and put your hands out the window and yes, sir, and no, sir. And, and just get ready to be harassed. And it's not fair. And I hate that for my son. It makes me angry knowing that my son that I love so much has to worry about that and think about that.
Hey man, welcome back. We back here on the House Arrest Show. That was Mac Powell. What do you think about all that, man? That was crazy, right?
The shows gets deep, bro. I mean, listen, we're in the era now where it's so necessary to have these conversations. Number one, when you talk about adoption, that is such a gospel-centered philosophy, bro. Because as though us who were dead in our trespasses and God being rich in his mercy, he adopted us into his family. We don't look like him. We weren't nothing like him, and we didn't want nothing to do with him. And he adopted us in his family. So when we adopt children, physically here, that's a great representation of our relationship to our Father, our God, our Father. So I think adoption is a beautiful thing, bro.
Yeah, man, I think that was amazing. Obviously, I have an adopted daughter, my little girl Zara, and so that was really special to me for him to hear him talk about that. But just crazy at the same time to be able to hear how he had to differentiate and talk to, teach to his other two adopted kids things he never had to teach his own.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was amazing. For those of you that didn't see that show, you got to check out that whole show as well. Mac is such a cool cat, isn't he? When we had him on the show, he's just so chill, laid back. While you're doing the mix, he's vibing with you. That was a fun show, wasn't it?
It was, until YouTube stopped the mix.
YouTube was like, so it's been a crazy year. I know for you having to deal with all that. How is it being a DJ in 2020, bro? Because speaking of that, it's like, first it's like you can't go out and tour, then you got to do it virtually, and virtually is already hard enough to keep an audience. But then when it came to virtual, then towards the end of the year, they're like, well, now you can't play these records because we're going to stop them because you need permission and this, that, the other. What's it been like as a DJ, real quick, bro?
You got to figure it out, man. I mean, the strong are going to survive. We're going to figure it out, and that's just what it is. That's a nutshell kind of thing. You got to get creative, and I've got some things that I've been kind of holding in the pocket for live shows, and now I'm trying to figure out how I can translate them into the virtual world. And so, for those of us who are still doing it, we're figuring it out as we go, and we're helping each other out too. And I'm in a great community of DJs, most non-Christian, some Christian, and it's just been cool just to utilize this platform to be able to reach people, man, with the gospel. I mean, yeah, if you come out here to Durham, North Carolina, bro, you come out here to the Bull City, they know me out here in these streets, bro.
Hey, there you go, man. Now look, bro, speaking of 2020, it's been a crazy year. And I think it's been no crazier for anybody than Becca Shea, bro. Because Becca Shea literally had a stalker that we were in shock. Like, we thought we were going to talk about different things. And she starts off the show like, yo, man, there's somebody in jail. We just put them in jail because they showed up on our doorstep from California threatening to kill her husband. I mean, wow, we talk about crazy events on 2020 and things that we went through. Man, I want to roll that clip real quick. This is Becca Shea talking about what it's like to have a stalker stalk her and her family and her kids at school. Insane. Check it out, y'all. So you had a stalker from California that literally came. They've been bothering you for a while, and they showed
up on our doorstep of our house with my children and my husband. So it was a little wild. It's been a kind of a crazy week, not the average week for us.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine. Now, what are you doing in a case like that where you got a stalker? Now, was this a male, a female?
Yeah, it's a female, and really her. I believe, just like everything else that's going on right now, that's just crazy because there's just so much craziness,
right?
With everything that's going on in the world and just everything. I think spiritually. So I'm always thinking, this is just a spiritual war, and this person is not evil, but there's demons involved. It's totally demonic.
Yeah.
So there's a part of me in the natural that just wants to be like, get the heck off my porch, leave my husband alone, step away from my family. Like whole, that part of me is like, where's my gun? Like, no, oh no, she didn't come up on my porch, like the whole thing. But then the other part of me is like looking at the whole situation, and I'm just looking from afar. Like, she literally, the cops were at our house, like she got arrested. It was wild. It was so wild. And there was a part of me that just kind of watched. And I had the love of God in my heart, like a compassion for this person who has been harassing and literally threatening my husband's life. It's really, she's after my husband.
Wow.
Making just really, really terrible accusations towards him. Like he's, abusing me and our children and all these crazy, crazy things. So, for me, it doesn't make sense in the natural for me to look at her and think I have compassion for her. That's completely and totally the love and that's like the Spirit of God in me, knowing that she's being tormented by something. She's got something that's tormenting her. And so it's just been this war, and it's so crazy how it like showed up on my doorstep, because I feel like this is almost like this tangible situation of like everything else that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we want to be mad, we want to be frustrated, we want to be angry about the different things, you know, but when we step back and we recognize and we look at it from a higher perspective, we can really, I think we can take more authority and deal with the situation.
Pull that one out the hat.
Man, Pdogg, I'm telling you, bro, that was like, wow, bro. I don't know what I would do. I mean, that's like, she was like pumped up, man, because she was like, ain't nobody messing with my family, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's you you Christian artists who get crazy fans like that.
And she had to be from California, of all places. But you know what? Keep the Shea family in your prayers. We definitely pray protection over their family. And, you know, I think that those things now, you know, hopefully settled down and it's not so crazy. But that's how 2020 has been, man. It's been insane. I know that one of the most special moments for me on the show was being able to have somebody who, you know, I actually got to know through the show. The very first show that I did with Soup the Chemist, this guy was watching. He's somebody that I watch on TV pretty much every day. You know who I'm talking about, Chris Broussard from Fox Sports and also ESPN. And man, just what an honor to be able to have him, to connect, to find out that this guy was a fan of mine who grew up listening to all my music throughout all these years. He's like, I literally have every last one of your records. And again, I'm talking about none other than Chris Broussard. You guys can check him out on his podcast, which is called The Odd Couple. It's Monday through Friday, an amazing podcast. But man, we asked him about, you know, Kobe Bryant, because, you know, for those that don't know, people that follow me know I post all the time. To this day, I just post like 3 days pictures of Kobe. I go to murals and I post different things. People are like, why was Kobe such a huge inspiration for you? For me, first of all, it's because, you know, I live in LA. So obviously, if you're in the Cali area, it's like I tell people, it would be like living in Chicago during those Jordan years. Because for me, it's like 1 and 2. It's A and B. It's like Jordan and then Kobe. And Kobe, you know, for me was just my Michael Jordan. So the thing is, he inspired me just watching him play, bro. His work ethic, where that Mamba mentality comes from. If I could scroll over and show you, bro, I got all his books, Mamba Mentality. I got the books that he's put out, magazines. I got this huge LA Times big old thing with like 500 pages that has every news clipping that they ever did on Kobe. And he just inspired me. I mean, as many people know, I lost 100 pounds. Even when I was in my weight journey, I would always think, you know, what would Kobe do, man? He wouldn't give up. I was tired, but I was like, I got to keep going. And I would think of, you know, things that he did and how it inspired me. And so he inspired me on so many levels, bro. I remember the day that he died, me and the family were at a burger stand. We happened to go to church extra early to early service that day, which thank God, because I would have probably walked out of the service if I would have got the news while I was in church. But we were at a burger stand and this kid rolls up and he's like, yo, man, you hear about Kobe? He died in a helicopter accident. And bro, this is LA. Everybody started loking up like, yo, bro, you don't even play with that, dog. There was some gangsters like, hey, homie, you don't even play with that, dog. Like, he got mad. And other little Mexicans like, hey, homie, why you messing around? Don't be talking about Kobe like that, homie. You know what I'm saying? So they were tripping out. I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, don't even come with that, bro. But inside of me, something got scared. Like, maybe something happened, because why would this cat just say that? So then another guy looks at it and he goes, man, somebody's playing around putting that. And then I'm like, oh, man, if multiple things are going on, yeah, I know there's a lot of pranks, but it could have validity to it. So next thing you know, when it hit CNN, bro, I just remember being like, you know, wifey was like, it's true, man. It just hit CNN. He died. Bro, I threw my burger down. I started crying immediately. My daughter started crying because she knows how much I love Kobe. And Gigi, she was like, always like, I'm going to be the little Gigi, daddy. I'm going to play basketball. And man, it just hit me so hard and it just tore me up. But it's going to take me years to get over it. Like, that's something that hit me to my core. And what an honor, man, to be able to talk to somebody that knew him firsthand and to hear his story. So we asked Chris Broussard, you know, what was it like, you know, when you found out, and what has this whole thing been like for you? So let's check it out. This is Chris Broussard talking about Kobe Bryant passing away with his daughter and 6 others in that horrific, you know, tragedy that happened at the top of the year. Here's Chris Broussard talking about Kobe Bryant.
Kobe, you could see the growth. I mean, Kobe literally grew up in the spotlight. And you can imagine, like you said, the difference between you at 17 or 18 when he entered the NBA to now at 40.
Yeah.
Think about how much you changed, you know, and grew and matured in those years, and Kobe did that in front of everyone.
Right.
And so I know, like, early on in his career, he was more aloof, and even, you know, and I don't know that it was even purposeful. I think maybe he wasn't as comfortable in his own skin, you know, this teenager, and you're playing on the team with grown men and all that stuff.
Right.
But I would, early in his career, I might go up to him and try to talk to him. And he talked, but, you know, it was a little standoffish, or like, you coming up to talk to me, and, you know, all that. But then as time went on, he got more comfortable. You could just see it in the press, like his comments, the way he handled the press as he got older. And then personally, he was more relatable. And, you know, I would talk to him about, you know, like when he was injured, rehabbing, he asked, what movies? Give me some movies to watch, and send him stuff like that. Last time I saw him actually was maybe 2 years ago at the mall. He had retired in Newport Beach, California. And I happened to be, my wife and I and some friends were at a jazz concert out there, and we stopped by a mall, and he was with his family and his daughters and his wife. And so we went up, and I saw him, we started rapping. And that's the thing, like, I remember that because Kobe did become, as far as I could tell, a really good family man and father. And so that's really how I remember him. And also, I was worried about him when he retired, because I'm not worried like something tragic was going to happen, but just worried, like, you know, is he going to find anything to fill that void? Because he was so much into his basketball. And, man, he shocked me and a lot of people by, you know, going full bore into something else, venture capitalism, and then his media stuff. Yeah. And he really moved on from basketball. And I was impressed. I mean, he had the Mamba mentality really was, whatever you're in, do it to 110%. That was it. So when he was in basketball, it was basketball. I'm not trying to make movies. I'm not trying to do this or that. I'm in basketball. And once he was done with basketball and was in media or in venture capitalism, it was all that. So it was like, I'm not trying to coach. I'm not trying to be on TNT. I'm doing this now. Exactly. And that's something that I've said, you know what, I can take from that in my life as well.
Wow, bro. I'm speechless, man. I don't know what to say, P. That was deep, bro.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things, man. You know, cherish, you know, your people, man. Like we said in this show, talked about my man Greg. The last time I talked to him was actually the day before Mr. Solo passed away. Wow. And so just, you know, you just never know, bro. Yeah, cherish your peoples. I think the idea of people living to old age and then passing away, like, that's almost, you know, people are dying young, man. And so cherish your people as long as you can, while you can. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that was a tough loss for you this year, bro, losing one of your close friends, especially, like you said, to a drowning accident. Just so many horrific tragedies this year. And it's like you say, man, like I always tell people, and the saying that a lot of people are saying now, give people their roses while they're alive. Give your heroes, your friends, your family, give them their roses while they're alive. You know, I remember my mom always used to tell me that, like, don't bring me flowers, you know, when I'm dead and throw them at the cemetery. Give me flowers while I'm alive and I can appreciate them, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And so, man, I don't want to break down today either, bro, but I don't think you know this, but today, Wednesday, right now, while we're airing the show, it's Veterans Day today. Yeah. And today's my father's birthday, bro. Today is my father's birthday, who just passed away, you know, right around 3 years ago. And that was something that was super tough for me, bro. You know, I shared a little bit on the story when I had Dayton on, and I just talked about what I had to do, bro. In a nutshell, you know, my father died as a missionary in a third world country, Nicaragua, where we're from, second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Died basically in the poorest of conditions, no machines in the room, nothing. I had to walk in, I had to help change his blood, and I had to do everything. And when he died, I literally had to take my father's body, clean it while he was dead, flip him over, clean him, put him in the casket, put clothes on him, take him to a cemetery over there, which was like a dump yard here in the U.S., literally have a shovel and start digging his very hole, and then have guys come in, us put him in the hole, bury him. I mean, it was crazy what I had to go through. But you know, like I tell people, the one thing that I always say is when he was buried in that dump, bro, that place that was, you would never want to see any family member buried. It wasn't like beautiful grass with tombstones and you're with these white chairs. This is like the poorest of the poorest, the way, you know, people die in Haiti and Nicaragua and people, you can think of a movie going back, you know, how they would bury people 100 years ago is kind of what it was like. But I remember when I was sitting there and I was like, man, God, this is how it ends. Is this how it ends? My dad in this dump, you know, in this hole. I'm like, and me having to do all that, this is how it ends for a man who left everything and the luxuries of the U.S. to come and love on the least of these, you know, to your children, your people. And I remember God telling me, yeah, man, this is how it ends. And I was upset and I was like, what? And he says, this is how it ends. This is what it's like when you pick up your cross and you follow me. This is what it's like to serve me. It's not always easy. But the words that stuck to me was, I remember as the tears were falling down my eyes, God told me, but you know what? I want you to know something, son. There's also a prize at the end. And he said, and right now your father's being dumped in the horriblest place you could be buried on earth, this dump yard. He said, but he's opening his eyes in the biggest mansion in heaven. And that for me was like, wow, it just changed my life forever. It was like I was learning. My dad was still teaching me from the grave. And it was like, wow, you know, the only thing that matters is what you do for God. And all these things that we shoot after, that we strive for, you can't take any of it with you. So, you know, today is my dad's birthday. I want to say happy birthday to my dad. Dad, I love you. I know you're in heaven. I know you're up there walking the streets of gold, and he's up there with your friend. He's up there with Kobe. He's up there with people that we love, loved ones that we've lost. And we know that, you know what I mean, they're in a better place. There's no tears. There's no sorrow. And there's people that lost a lot of loved ones in 2020 to COVID, but aside COVID, that lost them to heart attacks, that lost them to diabetes, that lost them to so many, to accidents, to tragedies, to different things that happen. And I just want to say to everybody that's watching, y'all, keep your head up, man. God is still in control. And the beautiful thing is when you're a child of Christ, there is no reason. Like, we don't mourn the way the world mourns. We don't cry. Yes, we mourn and we hurt, but we don't sit there and dwell in that all the time, because we know that, like Paul said, to live is Christ, to die is gain. They're in a better place. So that's where we have hope. That's where we have peace. And that's where we know, you know, that man, God is great and that his plans are better than ours.
Absolutely.
What would you say to that?
I mean, you said it in a nutshell, man. You know, every time I think about a believer that I know has passed away, man, it's crazy. You know, we just lost gospel great Rance Allen last week. And he's got this song called Miracle Worker. And some of the guys were commenting on that. I said, man, we mourn his loss, but, bro, he's looking at the miracle worker face to face. Like,
that's it, bro.
That's
beautiful.
Crazy, bro. That blows my mind, that one day we will get to see Jesus face to face. And you know, this earth, this world that we live in, bro, this is not our home. We're here for a purpose. We're here to bring God glory. We're here for our good and ultimately for his glory. And my hope is for anybody who's listening, like, to take everything that happens to us, God allows to happen for a reason. And in seasons like a terrible 2020, where us as believers could say, but God is still amazing. God is still good. He's always good. He's nothing but good. Even when life sucks for me, God is still good to me. Okay? And that is the message that we need to send to the world.
Yes, sir, man. God is good, man. I mean, it's been, like you said, man, doesn't matter what happens, what the situation is, God is always there. And he definitely takes care of his people, man. So, man, Pete, I want to tell you something, man. It's been a blessing to do this. You know, one of the last things I wanted to talk about, which we ended off on, you know, 2020 this year, was the announcement of my retirement from music. So, for those of you that don't know, I just recently posted something on my Instagram and Facebook as well, because I get so many people hitting me up saying, hey, man, can we do a collab? Can we do this? But I'm officially out the game. English music, Spanish music, hip hop, reggaeton, whatever it is, man. I'm gone. I'm retired. I'm going on to different things, doing more of my real estate ventures that I've been into, as well as some businesses that I have. And, you know, 2020 is also the year of T-Bone bowing out the game, man. It's been a good 30 years. In 21, as soon as we flip to 21, it will mark exactly 30 years of me having been in the industry. So what a blessing. Thank you to all my fans, all my people out there that have supported me throughout the years. And who knows, man, you know, like I say, P, I may put out a song here and there if I get inspired, but it's no longer to chase a career. It's just because I'm simply feeling inspired, or I want to share something with somebody, or there's some thoughts that I want to get off on my mind, whatever. But who knows, you know, you may drop a beat on here and I may come on here and rhyme anyway, something people can only see exclusively here on the House Arrest Show. We need to do that, by the way, soon.
We're going to try to work on it. We're going to try to work on it.
There you go, my man. Well, listen, man, before we go, we're going to talk a little bit more once we get out of this segment, just to kind of let you guys know what's going on. But right now, I want to jump into the House Arrest 10, man. Can we do that?
Let's do it. Put me in the hot seat, bro.
All right, man. We putting you in the hot seat, y'all. Y'all ready? Here we go. This is the House Arrest Top 10.
House Arrest Top 10.
Here we go, my man. Let's do this now. So you're a guy that you've changed your life. You like to work out. You've taken care of yourself. You're eating clean, all that stuff. Now, I got to ask you, what do you prefer? A low-carb diet, which I know most people hate, or would you prefer to do 3 hours of cardio daily?
Oh, my God. Forget that 3 hours, bro.
Can you handle the low carb?
Yeah, I could do the low carbs, but I mean, right now I'm averaging about 30 to 45 minutes of cardio. I've got resistance bands that I use as well. So I do about an hour workout every day. I can't do no 3 hours of cardio, bro.
Okay, so there we go. Low carb diet. Number 2, something you've been affected by. What do you prefer? Because both have their benefits. You talked about them on the show. If you go out and you do a party out, DJ party, it's like the live people there, you're going out, it's fun. But if you're home, you get to chill. You don't have to do so much. You ain't got to travel. You get to spend time with your family. So number 2, do you prefer a virtual DJ party or a live DJ party?
A live DJ party. Okay. Hands down.
So it still wins. Exactly. There's nothing like that adrenaline. Number 3.
Nothing like it.
When you go to the movies, are you a comedy guy or more into the drama? Comedy or drama movie?
I mean, between the two, that's tough. I like comedies. Yeah, I like comedies. I'll go for comedy. I'll go comedy. Yeah.
Number 4, you're a DJ. If you ain't a DJ, you might not get this part, but now, let me break it down because it's easy to just pick the one I think you're going to pick. But here, let me give you first. I'll give you the question. Number 4, Serato or vinyl? But hold on, think about this. Vinyl obviously is vinyl, nothing like it. But you got to carry crates and crates and crates to get all your records on. Serato, you got it all right there at your fingertips. So, what do you prefer when you out? Somebody says, "Hey, I need this song." You might not happen, but then there's nothing like having vinyl. It's the true art. So, number 4 is a DJ. You prefer Serato or vinyl?
How about my Serato vinyl? How about that?
Yeah, you got to pick one, bro.
Man,
either way,
I think as a DJ, I'm gonna go with Serato. As a DJ collector, I'm gonna go with vinyl. So I'm gonna say Serato. Yeah.
Okay, number 5, and you've been yeah, I know you're a guy that likes to get laughs and all that, and you like, so there's 2 funny guys. I wonder who you prefer. Which Chris Rock or Chris Tucker?
Yikes.
Got him in the hot seat.
You do. Wow. I'm gonna go with Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, okay.
I'm gonna go with Chris Rock.
That's what's up, funny dude. Number 6. This is a tough one, bro. This is a tough one. As a DJ, who do you prefer? Who do you lean more towards? Who inspires you more? Do you take Grandmaster Flash or do you take Cool Herc?
Yikes.
Yep.
That should have been your number 10, bro. That's the one. If you got one harder than that, bro, I salute you.
That's probably the hardest. I didn't pick him in any. I should have put that at the end, but Grandmaster.
Oh man. I'm gonna go. When I teach my DJ classes, I always start at Herc.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say Herc because without Herc, there's no Flash. That's what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
I'm gonna pull one of those Eric Dawkins joints on you right there.
There you go. That should have been my number 10. That's a tough one. Number 7, Adidas or Nike?
Nike.
Okay. He said that one quick. Here's another tough one. Number 8. We're going to go old school and then a little old school still, but not quite as old, but two probably the most influential groups in CHH. SFC or Cross Movement?
See, I'm gonna have to go with Cross Movement, bro, because SFC, I'm still learning about SFC. Okay. Salute to them. I know they're like the godfathers, but I'm still learning about them. But Cross Movement had the most impact on me for sure.
Oh, definitely. You know there would be no Cross Movement without SFC.
Absolutely.
So I feel
absolutely.
All right. Okay. Number 9. You more of a takeout guy, or do you like go out and have a nice dinner, go out, ambiance, all that, or do you prefer a nice home cooked meal?
Right now, these days, I prefer going out because I'm the one at home making all the home cooked meals all the time.
You're the one cooking. You're like, I'm slaving. Take me out, baby.
I mean, listen, bro, I was doing one of the house arrest show edits and I'm cooking in the kitchen at the same time.
Man, if you got that clip, bro, play that right now. There's a clip of him like trying to edit. He's scrambling some eggs, making something, and his kid's right there, and he's just like, it's chaos. And man, we'll get into that in a little bit. But if you have that clip, play it right now. We'll wait. Number 10. This is a tough one. I think I know what you'll go with, but it's tough nonetheless. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson, bro.
There it is.
Yeah. No diss to Prince, but and here's what's funny. I've got a folder of Michael Jackson's records, bro. I've got music from Michael Jackson I didn't even know I had.
Wow.
I've got stuff like remix stuff that I didn't even know I owned, bro, until today. So I'm a huge MJ guy.
Crazy. Me too, bro. I got the autographed picture right behind where we're talking right now here in the office. So, man, you survived the top 10, bro. Bro, it's been an amazing season. It's been so much fun hanging out with you, going down memory lane, talking about all this stuff. And I can't wait to do it again, man. We're going to come back, Pdogg, at the top of 2021. So, guys, we're taking a break now for the holidays, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for New Year's, all that good stuff. You know, I know I've got company coming. I'm going to do a little bit of traveling myself, going to a couple different places, but we will be back in 2021 in January. And man, there's a lot of people been asking about merch, house arrest hats. We've been talking about these mugs that we got, house arrest mugs, pants, hoodies, all this stuff. Our page is going to be up probably in between this time. If not, it'll be up by the time we come back. You guys will be able to order some more merch. And Pdogg, what are some of the things you're going to be doing? What are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
Well, normally we travel to Michigan, but we're not going there this year. But I mean, yeah, so we're staying home, but I mean, I've got a lot of projects that I'm working on. I'm about to relaunch my podcast, the DJ Pdogg in the Mix podcast. I've taken a 1-year hiatus from that to kind of hit reset. So I'm excited about that. And basically, so my podcast is a lot different than what we do here. Yeah, it's going to be basically a one-man show. Okay. I've got a lot to talk about, and that's what I'm going to utilize I'm a homeschool dad. Talk about this pandemic, things that's going on in life. I talk trash talk about my family members on my podcast, so you guys get to hear a little bit of that. Nothing bad, but I like telling stories.
Okay.
What's that?
Where can the people check out the podcast at?
So everything about me, you can just go to my website, djpdogg.com. All my social plugs are there. Everything is at DJ Pdogg, DJ Pdogg. I'm already on all the major podcasting networks, so just look up DJ Pdogg. And then, of course, we're still going to be updating the Christian Hip Hop Classics Spotify playlist and the House Arrest After Party playlist on Spotify. So you guys can go subscribe to those for free as well. So
please be sure to subscribe. Give them one more time that House Arrest mix on there.
Yeah, so the House Arrest mix, just look up House Arrest Show or look up T-Bone on Spotify. You'll see the Christian Hip Hop Classics and the House Arrest Show After Party playlist, all curated by DJ Pdogg in the mix.
There it is, baby. He's going to be putting it down and switching it up and doing that. Man, for the holidays, I'm gonna be traveling, but I'm going to be home a lot as well. So I'm looking forward to just spending some more family time and doing our thing. But, man, bro, we went about an hour and a half on the show. We had to take people down memory lane. And just, man, is there anything you want to say to the viewers that are out there? We've grown pretty large. I think we're probably up to about 20 to 30,000 people that actually watch, listen to the show weekly. I know we might only get like 200-300 that watch live, but then by the end of the week, we're up to like 20,000 just on Facebook. So is there anything that you want to say to everybody out there that's supporting our show and watching us on a weekly basis?
Yeah, there's been a lot of people consistently, especially on the live show. I wish I had a list of their names in front of me so I could shout them out.
Yeah.
But there's this one guy who comes on and he's always like, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm like, that's that guy, bro. That's that guy. I think he got like a Bible, like a gun or something like that as his avatar. He knows who he is.
Yep.
Shout out to you, bro. And everybody who's been watching, supporting, sharing, just the support and love I've seen. It's been dope, bro. And seeing people excited about seeing T-Bone out in the open again, bro.
There you go. We back. We here. We exposing ourselves and people getting to know both of us on a different level. So, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. I want to echo that. Shout out to everybody that's been watching us, supporting us. Those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, be sure to go check out the whole catalog. Again, you guys can just simply go to thehousearrestshow.com. Everything is on there: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, every single platform that we're on is there. iHeartRadio. You guys can watch all those shows on our YouTube page, and I believe Facebook and Instagram pages where you can watch the visual part of that, and you guys can check them out. And we want to give a shout out to everybody that we had on the show this year, man. I mean, we've had, Soup the Chemist, PID, Fred Lynch. We had Gigi. We had Mac Powell. We've got Becca Shea, Dayton, The Truth, Corin Hawthorne. We had my man Koalo. We had KJ52. Who am I missing, bro? We had Eric Dawkins. We had AJ Styles, WWE superstar. We had Chris Broussard. We had Stephen Wiley, the godfather of gospel hip hop. Michael Peace. All these different people. We've had everybody on here, bro. The Dynamic Twins. But the crazy thing is some of the shows aren't up. What we're gonna do, we're gonna start season 2 off with kind of the history of gospel hip hop, because we have that MC Gigi show, the Stephen Wiley, the Michael P, all those different shows that we did before we were actually doing it on this level, in this format. And we may bring some of them back to kind of like reacquaint you with them and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you guys next year. And one last quick thing, Pdogg, who you predicting to win the Super Bowl this year, bro?
Bro, I don't even know I don't know nothing about. I have no idea, bro.
Well, my team's definitely gone. The 49ers got like 14 of their top players hurt. So they were predicted to possibly go back all the way, but there's a lot of good teams out there. Type right to us. Let us know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. But guys, on behalf of DJ Pdogg, your man T-Bone, my man Rodney, Jared, Roach as well, Rodney Davis, we want to say, the whole team here at the House Arrest Show, we want to say thank you so much. We love you guys. We pray that you guys would have a blessed new year, and we pray that your 2021 for all of us will be better than our 2020 was. So we love y'all, man. DJ Pdogg, you gonna take us out on the mix?
That's the hope.
That's it. I'm to put some fire to this one right now. So guys, I love you guys. I'm gone. DJ Pdogg, it's all you, man. Take us into the new year. We'll see you guys next year for season 2 of the House Show. We gone. Ya tu sabe.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. Grand finale, season finale. That is.
This right here for me. What character plays it? And I'm gonna write what I want. Cause this my therapist. Got so much to say. I've been fed up with the strain for people. Ain't gonna mention their names. How they ask right now for better days.
My man Isaac Matter.
No sorries about.
Welcome to the after party, ladies and gentlemen.
Cause I ain't just playing
Come
around.
on.
Better believe that I mean what I say when I say that I hate that this part of my job putting pressure on me. Oh yeah, it's been stressing me. Yeah.
Put your wings up.
Going on
airplane mode. Y'all know how it goes. Come on. Airplane mode. What?
I'm going on
airplane mode.
Yeah.
Isaac Matter. Right here in the House Arrest after party. Let's go.
We done yet?
What's up, y'all? It's your boy KJ522. You are listening to DJ Pdogg in the mix. Keep it locked.
Let's go.
Yeah, I said I had a wrong religion. Then they said I made a wrong decision. I came this far, still I'm on a mission. Still I stand behind the bars.
KJ52.
Going to prison. I got a vision, listen, my savior going to risen. My God is still upon the throne when you want to diss him. The old me is dead and gone, I ain't gonna miss him. My God had to subtract, just like it's long division. Yeah. They still think I'm kinda off. Part-time rapper, I'm a full-time
man of God.
You see the rock that I'm standing on. All you wanna see is the green like it's camouflage. I got a team and we standing strong. One hand at you, another hand at God. Been through it all, I ain't planning to fall. Plus he guides my every move, like the dude in Avatar. And all I had was Jesus and the family. All I had was Jesus and the family.
Say what?
All I had was Jesus and the family. Y'all ain't understand me.
Let's go.
Little Billy from the bottom of the mouth.
No big deal.
I still get him with the rap. Hating Dilly, man, you gotta be an idiot. In fact, took the monkey off, then I put the city on my back. Country boy, but I hang around city slickers.
Go.
This the well, I got it at the kitty litter. If my brother need $1, he gon' get a tenner. Yeshua of Nazareth was not a penny pincher. How you got it out the mud and never been muddy? Wise man, no, he don't really know nothing. Every night I got a demon saying post some. It's an everyday struggle, man. Yeah, joke, I said peace to the industry. I do it alone. I'm a beast. You a swisher sweet. You don't want the smoke. You a tweet. I'm reality. Paris in the cold. I know arrogance can feel like heroin.
Welcome to the House Arrest After Party.
They get embarrassed when you hit a low and the hair.
I'm your man, DJ Pdogg in the mix.
I know I'm not American. My mama surrogate. If you got eggs, you can hear. Then when he appear again, I'm going home.
Come on, come on.
Get jiggy with it. Get it jumping like I knew Miss Piggy with it.
Say what, say what?
Proud like a half penny in it. Bulletproof vest on the chest like 50 with it. Oh yeah, you tryna flex on me, don't be silly. Wild Wild West, so yes, I'm Big Willie. Dressed like I came here fresh from West Philly. I'll protect your neck, respect your deck.
Hoopty, hop in the hoopty. Ride for the West, now they act like they knew me.
DJ Michael.
There ain't no new me. I'm still the same.
Joey Vontae. Come on.
And I value my dimes. If I see something I want, I'ma take it. It's mine. Still independent, I'm raising up my price. 6 4 switches, we eating up that pie. Whoa, I learned from Nissy, we hustle. We ain't the same, I came up from that struggle. You wanna survive out here, dog, you need muscle. Cortez and a white tee, so Dickies that button.
Talk to him, Michael.
Y'all ain't wanna see us here, but we pray for this. We was destined for this.
That's what, that's right, this me now. Fall off, bounce back like rebound. Low switch, still got my team now. Thank God, he did what he found. That's what, that's right, this me now. Fall off, bounce back like rebound. Low switch, still got my team now. Thank God, he did what he found.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the House Arrest After Party. I'm your man, DJ Pdogg in the mix. Once again, you can go check out that playlist. All right, all those songs are on the official House Arrest After Party playlist on Spotify, bro. I got a brain freeze there. I don't know what was happening there, okay? I'm not editing nothing out. This is live, bro. This is live TV. You're on the House Arrest show. This is what we do. Anyways, listen, it's been a wild ride, bro. It's been a great ride. Season 1 done in the books. We're going to see you guys back in 2021. And, man, listen, keep your family close, bro. Keep your loved ones close. Tell somebody you love them. Do something nice for somebody, bro. Do something amazing for many people. And here's what you could do. You can share this show. All the episodes that we've done, they're all on YouTube. Go to thehousearrestshow.com. Get all of our links. Follow us. Keep up with us. We're going to have more stuff coming until we have brand new shows. So definitely want to stay tuned. And like I said, I'm going to be updating these playlists even throughout the break, all right? So listen, subscribe to them, follow us, keep up with us, keep up with your boy DJ Pdogg on all social platforms at DJ Pdogg. I got a lot that I'm going to be rocking during this time off from the House Arrest Show. So keep up with your boy, all right? I'm going to holler at you guys later. One love, peace.
House Arrest with T-Bone.